As a mom of three and a trainer, I've learned that movement is a piece of the health puzzle. As I grow as a woman and I watch my kids grow, I see that true health and wellness doesn't come from the body alone, but it comes from our environment, our habits, and the knowledge that we surround ourselves with. A few years ago, I had the pleasure of starting to work with an amazing woman, Jennifer from Centre de Solution Santé, and she helped bring support and guidance to our family's health. And I am forever grateful to Jennifer because she holds a special part in our family's life because she helped support Capri overcome a cashew allergy, which is unbelievable, by the way. I still can't believe it. And she also helped provide some meaningful upgrades in all of our lives. So we're super grateful to Jennifer. But what we like most about her, or love most about her, is the fact that she has this calm confidence, patience, and also you can tell she truly cares to help. So thank you for that. And we also have a lovely guest today, Christina, which I also had the privilege of working with. And although it was only one time, it was truly so meaningful because I could initially, or right away, I could see her depth of knowledge and her intuition. She made me feel so comfortable and to be able to really implement everything that she was suggesting in my child's life in a really supportive and easy way. So I'm so grateful to both these ladies for their incredible work, not only with individuals and their clients, but also with the whole world. They're really sparking a meaningful conversation and making a huge impact. So now with that being said, they're here today not only as naturopaths, but also as founders of a brand new naturopathy school, which is a place that's built to educate, support, and inspire the next generation of holistic wellness practitioners. This initiative is rooted in purpose, service, and real impact. And I couldn't be more proud to share it with you. So with that being said, I am honored to introduce both Jennifer and Christina in the More Than Movement podcast. Let's dive in. All right, ladies, let's start simple. For the moms listening that might not be familiar with naturopathy, what is it exactly?
So I just want to say before we even begin, I will come here as many times as you need for this ego boost that I didn't even realize I signed up for. Thank you so much for that great introduction.
Of course.
So naturopathy is something that I honestly think people don't even realize that they're using on autopilot. You reach for ginger when you're nauseous. You reach for aloe when you have a cut or a burn. So basically what it is we're just trying to help our body get back to its state of balance so that it can get back to where it knows, we're built for this design of just knowing how to heal. And so that's really what naturopathy's role is in every household.
Okay, amazing. And then how does that differ from, example, homeopathy, allopathy, and just general medicine or medical functional medicine?
I mean, the one differentiating factor is that you're really going to the root cause and also looking at it from a preventative approach.
Okay.
So I'd say that's the one thing that stands out to me. We do use the homeopathy in the practice, so I think those two go hand in hand. Allopathic medicine, I mean, by definition, would be more symptoms and then treat, diagnose.
Right.
So
Yeah, because what I understand, if I'm not mistaken, is that homeopathy is under naturopathy.
It's like an umbrella. So
it's an umbrella.
Naturopathy is an umbrella, and then you have these different branches of specializations. You have herbology, you have homeopathy, you have iridology.
I was going to say iridology, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I like to also give the analogy of there's a fire in your house. You have the firemen that come, they put out the fire. That's the medical doctors. That's conventional medicine. Yeah. We need them. They're very important for acute treatment. Mm-hmm. And then you also want to know, how did this fire start and how do I prevent it from coming back? Right. And so as Chris said, we're really looking to understand what are the root issues here that led to this issue to begin with, rather than just masking a symptom. We really want to understand it at its core.
Nice. And with that being said, what inspired both of you to get into this world?
How much time do you have?
Let's summarize.
My goodness. All right. I'll give you the snippet version. I basically started with my own health issues, and I was not on this path initially. My father was a pastry chef. I was raised in a pastry shop till I was 14.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and his dad was a pastry chef too, and so was his brother, and so it's this long lineage of pastry chef, and now he laughs about it. And he says, "I got people sick. Now I'm getting them healthy."
Oh,
You know, so it's full
she
circle.
can't bake a cake.
But I mean, yes, no, I can't. My sister's the baker in the house.
really?
But, yeah, so I was addicted to sugar, and then I ended up, you know, not going the route of like in my dad's footsteps, who's also a naturopath, and I did more than half my bachelor's in psychology until I bumped into my own health issues. So I was 30 pounds overweight, tons of acne, all kinds of digestive issues. And then I realized, you know, I opened a nutrition book and realized what I was doing to myself. Because at that age, you don't want to listen to your father's advice. You want to be the defiant, rebellious teenager and just go your own way. But I had my own personal struggles. And when I was able to sort of rebalance myself, it really made me very passionate to share this experience with other people.
Yes.
And so I overcame my own struggles. And I really feel like any passionate naturopath or practitioner that you're going to find in this space typically have some type of common story where they went through their own struggles, or their kids' struggles, or something that led them to really fall in love with this field.
Right, and find the passion in it.
Yeah.
For you, Christina?
For me, it was a little bit more simpler, but I mean, I come from a mixed background. So my father is Indian. So growing up,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
So
growing
cool.
up, he just used everything like
It's not
homemade.
a tan. It's just a tan.
It's true.
It's
But
a
she
real
was
skin
Greek.
Yeah, so
Lucky
half
girl.
Half Greek.
So for me, it was a little different because I was kind of raised with, I had like one side and the other. And my father was always about like, don't give Tylenol, don't give Advil.
Love
There's
that.
always not that anything against it, but
No.
try anything natural first. Like
Yes.
he first taught me how to mix my own deodorant.
Oh,
You know, I was,
wow.
like,
That's
10.
so cool.
So yeah, very, very cool, like alchemy in the kitchen type thing. And then when I fell pregnant 7 years ago with my first, that was kind of my turning point, because as a mom, you just want to kind of take health in your own hands and take matters in your own hands. So for me, it was just, I wanted to be prepared. I wanted to be ready to like set my kids up for success, and more in the prevention side, especially in Quebec, the healthcare, you know, you hear these crazy stories as a mom, you have to wait 14 hours in the emergency room. I didn't want to have to do that. I wanted to rely on myself and be able to not come to that point.
Yeah, and advocate
Impossible.
for you and your family, for
Yep.
sure. So both of your dads were a huge figure. That's
It's
so
so funny
cool.
that I actually also have a picture when I must have been 10, and like my dad and I are making a clay mask, and he's like putting the clay mask on me.
Goodness.
Like bentonite clay. Yeah.
That's
so
so cool. I mean, that's amazing. Wow. Well, with that being said, let me get to the next question. So, a lot of women today are juggling work, motherhood, hormones, and burnout. So, how can naturopathy specifically support women, especially those in 30s, 40s, and 50s? It's a big question.
Yeah,
Want
we'll
to
probably
take
have
it?
to divide that.
Yeah.
I'll start. I mean, 36 to 46, I would say around mid 30s to mid 40s dictates kind of the rest of your
Wow.
life.
That's kind of scary.
So that's, I know it's an intense statement, but I mean, it's true.
You're right.
Like
Absolutely.
those are key, not that it's not changeable. You can do, I mean, it gives you 10 years.
Of course.
That's quite a bit
There's
of
time.
But so if like what you do in those years, I find dictates for the rest of your life. Just like, I mean, you know this, you have to build muscle.
Yes.
So building muscle is crucial before you get, and that starts in like high school, really.
Even
If you
before.
could- yeah.
If you want to be
So just like
Yeah.
walking, doing like these daily things that could affect women, menopausal, postpartum. And again, I work a lot with fertility from preconception all the way to postpartum. Postpartum is also like forgotten about or put on the back burner, I think, in
Preach.
motherhood and womanhood and conventional medicine. So I think that conversation needs to happen more often.
Absolutely.
So that's my kind of 2 cents.
I mean, I would say that really the number one thing that women from 30s to 50s need to understand is the body whispers before it screams.
That's so true.
And they cannot neglect the whispers. This is your body's talking to you many years in advance, right? We've even seen and read and heard of how, you know, Alzheimer's didn't start at 70, it started at 40. And your heart attack didn't start at 50, it was brewing at 30, right? So
Diabetes.
it's a question of just not neglecting the cues and really getting accustomed to listening to your body and understanding the language.
It's a secret. Yeah, and just being intuitive with your body and understanding it. Absolutely.
It's not broken. It just needs the support.
Yeah. So how do you balance your hormones naturally? That's a big question. Or what can you do to start?
And I honestly, I think this is the perfect question to justify and validate why it's important to have a sit-down evaluation with a practitioner.
Love that.
Is so that we can get to understand what are all the moving parts looking like.
Look at your garden, your specific garden,
yeah, the
right?
terrain, right? So what does your digestive look like? Are you sleeping? Do you eat well? Are you moving? Like the pillars, the big pillars need to be addressed first before we start busting out any type of like homeopathy or herbal remedy or some calcium deglucarate, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So there's a lot of ways to unpack that. I would think for sure the first place to start is look at your sleep, look at your nutrition.
I think sleep is so undervalued, right?
Yeah.
Like
it's getting its spotlight.
It's getting its spotlight
it's getting
now.
its 5 minutes of fame.
Yes,
but
that's true. The internet.
But yeah, and I mean, again, the emotional is forgotten about.
That's true.
And that is also something that personally happened to me. I had an ectopic pregnancy. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
And one of the things that was not spoken about is the emotional. So I think for women specifically, you have to tap into that because you cannot heal your trauma. Like you could do all the nutrition, all the sleep, everything right, but if the emotional is not fixed, it's gonna So I think that's a huge aspect that's part of naturopathy that I practice for my clients.
That's amazing.
And I think it's really forgotten about.
And how would you suggest or to heal that type of trauma? Like, is there
so everyone's healing is so different?
Yes,
especially for emotional. But yeah, 100%. Like, obviously, if your mind is not right, nothing else can.
Your body won't work the way it's supposed to.
Exactly. So I think, like Jen said, nutrition, sleep for sure before even supplements.
Those are pillars, right?
That's like the basic. But also, like, what are you surrounding yourself with? What's your day-to-day environment? Are you drinking good water? Do you have good air filtration? Like, for me, those are the basics and the non-negotiables. So I think what you surround yourself again, not as spoken about in conventional medicine, but like what type of people are you surrounding yourself with?
The toxic, is your environment toxic?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think the best way to put this is disconnect to reconnect. You know, sometimes you just need to step back from it. You know, realize what actually really matters, and then the healing sort of happens naturally.
That's true.
You know,
but I love that you brought that up. Like, I think it's things that people don't always speak about. Or that, feel uncomfortable, but the fact that you're opening up about it and opening the conversation, it makes people be able to like resonate and also feel more comfortable if they went through it.
And making sure you're not alone. That's also a huge one.
Yeah, especially postpartum. That's the thing, is feeling alone. Like, I know after I had my first daughter, I felt so alone. Like, it's just, that's what it is.
The speaking, honestly, is very important. I guess while we're all opening up, I mean, I've
shared
this with clients, but so I have 3 kids, but my first was a miscarriage.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
So I had a miscarriage. It was, your first try, you don't expect to fall pregnant so quickly right away. And so I didn't really know that I was pregnant. Anyways, you go through that. The emotions are so heavy. You're grieving. It's your first time.
And
so you're like, am I defective?
Yes.
Is this ever
it's going to happen again?
For me?
Yeah. Did I do something wrong?
Yes.
Is it my fault?
Yes.
Exactly.
The guilt and the...
You go through all of these emotions. You have to process all of these emotions. And then you realize how little people talk about it.
That's true.
But you're comforted by then opening up and speaking. And then I would reach out to other people that were in my circle.
Yeah.
And it was so comforting to know that, listen, they have 2 healthy boys now. Like, these things happen. They are common.
So 1 in 5, I think, right?
1 in 4.
1 in 4.
Yeah, it's super.
Well, ectopic is a little bit more rare.
More ectopic is,
it's a little bit more. It was a bit more traumatic.
Of course, especially because something bad can happen to you in this case.
Yes, so that was scary, and that it was recent. It was last year, so I'm still.
You're still recovering.
I talk about it. I do get a bit emotional, but like I'm slowly opening up. I'm slowly ready.
And that's
to
amazing that you did.
Circle. This is such a full circle conversation because, I had to replace you with your seminar, and that was like the first seminar I ever gave, and it was with you, Vanessa.
I remember that.
And you were going through some stuff, and I just said, if you need me, I'll stand in.
Yeah.
And sure enough, I didn't realize it would actually happen, but it was with you, and this was our first connection as 3.
Aww.
Was
so cute.
Was that?
So something terrible,
brought something
yeah,
good.
you know.
And now she has this
And now I have this
beautiful
little 4-month-old
most
boy.
perfect baby. She makes babies that are straight out of a magazine.
So cute.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Well, thank you for sharing that. And I'm such an advocate for speaking about postpartum journeys and obviously anything that you're going through in life that's very difficult. So thank you. So that brings me to my next question. So what are the key signs that a woman's body is asking for support rather than medication? So what is those little intuitive?
Well, I mean, like hair loss is a huge one. So that's more a physical postpartum. But even, I mean, pregnancy or prenatal, that's usually a telltale sign.
So sorry to cut you off, but hair loss right after having children, like that's not normal?
Fairly common.
It's fairly common, but I'm saying if it excessive.
Okay,
like
got you.
You're doing this and
like a whole thing of hair is coming
ball
out.
is coming out in the shower, when you're walking, on your bed. So that's usually one. Two, like Jen said, internally too, like how are you feeling? Are you always anxious?
I am.
Some people, you know, they're anxious to drive with the baby in the car. What are intuition? What are you feeling? Do you have intrusive thoughts? Like what's happening? Yeah. So I think that's also a telltale sign. I don't know if Jen, you want to add
Yeah, and I
something
think
more
honestly,
physical?
just what was your question again? You want to recap?
It was what's the little signs that the woman's body is
and
asking for
just
support?
Like postpartum aside, just in general, I would say amenorrhea, or women that are just not getting their period. Not getting their period.
That's a big sign.
Like, it's normal. It's not actually that normal. It's something that we should explore, like look under the hood. Obviously, you know, your doctor, you have to find a collaborative physician. If someone is making you feel dismissed, I really don't shy away from telling people they should probably find a different physician. There are so many good doctors out there.
Absolutely.
Especially nowadays that are starting to surface, the open-minded, the ones that are really embracing the collaborative, the collaboration between.
That's the secret, I think.
The holistic, but honestly, you go anywhere outside of Quebec, and this is on every corner. You have the functional medicine practices that marry together both approaches. So no one's trying to take anyone's job. We're trying to complement each other.
Absolutely.
And so, I feel like for sure amenorrhea or just, not having a well-synced period is definitely something to look for. Constantly feeling bloated, constantly having acid reflux,
constipation,
insomnia.
I mean, these are the symptoms that come through our door all day long.
Yeah. And I'll ask you a question based on my personal experience. So after I had my first daughter, I was feeling like, I don't want to say it's depression, maybe it's not the right word, but like that blues feeling, you know, like exactly. So like anxious, like, not sure of anything I was doing, constantly second guessing myself. And I've had 3 pregnancies. So I know that after the second and third, I didn't feel that way. Did it come with experience? I don't know. But the fact that I felt that way, is that normal, or was that maybe a hormonal imbalance?
Could be a bit of both, right? There's a serious learning curve for new moms.
Yeah, that's true.
It's overwhelming. There's a lot to take on and to adjust and to adapt to.
Right, that's true.
And I honestly, I think anybody that's sleep deprived is not going to feel like themselves.
I was so sleep deprived. Jeez. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's
I
comforting.
guess you'd have to explore like how many months postpartum are you feeling that?
Yeah.
Is it 1 year? Is it 2 years?
Okay.
Did it happen with your second?
Yeah, no.
But however, going back to the prevention, if we know it happened for the first, there's so many things you could do before the second.
Correct.
To address that or try to catch it before it comes.
Right. Yeah, because for anyone that's listening that maybe is going through that.
Yes.
You want to know. For me, it was when my daughter started sleeping her nights, so around 4 or 5 months, and I started working out again. Both those two together, I felt good.
Yeah.
I felt back to me.
For me, it was when I started showering again.
Yeah, that too. That's a good one.
I generally feel much better when I shower and wash my hair. It's a great day.
Oh, Lord. All right. So now, can naturopathy complement things like IVF, postpartum recovery, or menopause care?
Yeah, 1,000%.
Right?
1,000%.
It's a good one.
So this is something I see like day in and day out. There's beautiful occurrences that happen. Sometimes we're prepping for IVF. They're prepping for IVF with their fertility clinic, and then
they fall pregnant.
Yes, and then they fall pregnant. So it's like a beautiful miracle that happens, and they're even so surprised, like they didn't even have faith in themselves.
Yeah.
And like Jen said, the whole point is we're supposed to complement each other with a doctor. So I love when those stories happen, because like it's both. 100% there's things that could complement. So IVF, we do so much. There's so much prep you can do before IVF, making sure it's successful, the quality of the sperm, the quality of the egg, that's crucial. Again, mindset is huge.
Right.
And then like just because you mentioned, I think, menopause.
Menopause as well, yeah. And I
And
know it's a lot of things.
You mentioned also pregnancy.
Yes.
So pregnancy is huge, even labor. Labor is a huge one that everybody, like in movies, you're so scared of it. So I had 2 unmedicated births, natural.
Oh, good for you.
One at the hospital during COVID.
Wow.
And second one at a birthing center 4 months ago.
Wow.
So I think like just knowing you're able to do this,
Yes.
sharing your story, prepping women to do that from nutrition all the way to that. 100% lifestyle, daily habits compounded are huge, especially for menopause. And like you said, like building muscle. So going over those things, going over nutrition is something that we could definitely focus on while doing bioidentical hormone therapy. So there's things that definitely go hand in hand.
Yeah. So working all together.
There are people that go through menopause and it's a breeze.
Yes.
And then there are others that are like, when is this done?
Yes.
Yeah, train crash.
Right? And so you have to look at the common denominators. There are so many things that play a role in that, but why don't we control the controllables and look at our food and look at our, our nutrients and look at our exercise and our sleep, and again those big pillars, to see can we cross our I's and dot the T's? It's opposite. I said
it's all good. We
but
understood.
whatever, you got it. Can we do all those things and make sure everything's in the right place before we start exploring, let's say, other options, which are still very important and absolutely have their place?
Yes. But let's start with the basics first.
Big time.
Yeah.
And I think that bioidenticals can, they're shunned because of poor science from many, many years ago. But if they're done correctly with the right physician, with the right type, they're not using the same ones that they were using back then. But if they're done correctly, it can make a lot of sense and really help the things that women are suffering with, which is really cardiovascular health, cognitive health, and bones, right? Osteopenia, osteoporosis, these are huge for women that are entering that menopausal age. And so bioidenticals definitely have their place.
And like brain
so
fog.
exercise.
That's
brain
like
fog.
number one symptom that I think every woman that walks into the office from 30 on that like tells me. So that's like, again, I wouldn't say an easy thing, but everybody's different to the way they process that. But brain fog is something you can definitely do with, some first of all, food items.
Yes.
It's huge, like healthy fats, good vitamins, etc. Like through minerals, rebalancing your minerals through the food, but also like a simple thing like lion's mane helps with that. I mean, omega-3s,
those are so foundational.
Like that's basic.
Yeah.
And some people just don't even know about that.
Of course,
they
they're
don't
not
even
aware.
have the knowledge of that. So working with us, I think, could open up, shine so much light on simple things like that.
Right.
I think like brain fog too, it's about closing tabs rather than reopening and taking on so many different things. It's like, why don't we say no to those dinner plans?
Right.
Why don't we, do
exactly.
those lifestyle things too that also play a massive role in brain fog. We're so overstimulated, taking care of aging parents, taking care of our young kids, trying to remember what day I have to put an orange shirt on my kid.
Especially with 3.
It's so true. The
It's
calendar is packed.
We all have 3, so I get that.
It's true. It's
and the
we have in common.
extracurriculum. 9 kids between us 3. It's a lot. We're in the same boat.
Something. So lion's mane. We all need lion's
like,
mane
I'm gonna
omega.
take those
Let's write
notes.
it down. Absolutely.
And even just
Magnesium L3
exercises for your
massive
brain.
one.
Yeah.
What?
Magnesium L3 and
Magnesium,
it's
yes.
huge. It's very important for the brain.
And just exercising your brain too. Just like
instead of using ChatGPT all day.
Yes.
Sudoku. Let's bring back
Sudoku's good
Sudoku.
on the plane.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Puzzles.
Yes.
Like do it
Oh,
with
love
your
that.
kids. That's a big one. I know. Okay.
Stop scrolling Instagram.
Yes.
all the
Oh my
time.
gosh. Yeah. Just like turning off your phone at night
That's
is a
true.
huge one that is undermined.
I did something I started not so long ago. Is on Friday night, I closed my phone until Saturday afternoon, and
I
it's
love that.
I know.
amazing.
I'm telling you, it's made such a difference. I was so much happier, and I'm just like,
so
just
much
in
more
a few
productive?
hours, so much more productive. It was just happy.
Yeah.
I was more happy that I noticed, and I was like, it's kind of crazy. So I'm really gonna try to stick with that.
I
Hopefully it
told my
helps.
husband we're going to do no social media Sundays. He's like, yeah, I'm down. And
Yeah.
then the first Sunday,
You're
he's
the-
like scrolling. I'm like, you broke
What
the promise,
happened?
man.
Yeah. Cute. All right. So let me ask the next question. So many women listening want to feel better, but don't know where to start. So what are some simple, affordable habits that can make a biggest impact right away? So I know we spoke about things a lot now, but is there anything else that we can add to the pillars?
Yeah. Let Jen start.
Yeah. I mean, listen, the best part about coming to this podcast today was you telling the production, like, do I need to lower my air quality, my air purifier, is it too loud for the cameras? I'm like, this girl, like, you gotta be besties in real life.
You're
really.
a great influence.
But to be honest, it's starting with those simple things and those controllables that we mentioned. Like, how's the quality of your air?
Yeah.
I'm that psycho that's walking around with the air quality monitor.
You know, I bought one because of you.
Did you? Good. I'm an influencer now.
You are.
Right?
You are.
Send me the PR packages. But like the air quality is very important. People don't realize that you can just open your windows at home and that makes a massive difference.
Absolutely.
What are you breathing? What are you drinking? Right? So, and what are you showering with too? That's important. But what you're drinking as well, your water, where does it come from? Does it come from your fridge, which is the equivalent of a Brita filter? Or is it coming from reverse osmosis or like an Aqua True or like all these different ones on the market that are going to really purify down to a really fine particle size, get rid of all those heavy metals and all those potential pathogens.
Pharmaceuticals and
Yes.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in drinking someone else's birth control pill and urinate it out.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Like
Not
you've
down for that.
doing
Or
all
the
the work already.
antidepressants. Yeah, so air and water would be really
and water.
like your best places
That's
to
things
start.
to start. Okay.
Reducing toxic load, and I think it's important. Like, there's all these fancy gadgets out there, and I think you have to start basic too. It doesn't have to cost you $1,000.
It's overwhelming. Yeah.
It's overwhelming, an abundance of information online, like all these influencers posting stuff, and you have to click on it.
Yeah.
I think we need to shut all that off and take 2 steps back. And sometimes it's just basic things. Today I posted, like, in a tea bag, there's billions of microplastics.
Yes.
It's $10 just by the stainless
Right.
steel
How
one.
hard is that?
It's very little things that compound.
Easy swaps.
Yeah, easy swaps, daily habits, laundry detergent. What's in your household? What are your kids breathing every single day? What are they touching every single day? So start with those little things, and then you can,
Get into
And then
the
often
depth.
you'll get these people that, they're just very interested in the shortcut route and the quick
Yes.
fixes. And it's like, okay, but I heard about this new supplement. And, it's from the mountains of Africa that's at 3,000 altitude. And it's like,
oh Lord.
hey, do you take magnesium?
Right.
Maybe you want to start with like the foundational,
Right.
So it's important not to miss the marks of the simple stuff first.
Right. And then when speaking about magnesiums or supplements in general, but like there's certain brands to stay away from and
Of
certain
course.
ones to take, ones that are more bioavailable, if I
well,
understand
and
correctly,
even like
right?
there's also counterfeit things going
That's
on,
true.
right?
That's-
Like
that's-
Amazon
yeah,
is
very
a
true.
huge one.
You want third party tested.
Yeah, and where's it coming from? Like, even within Amazon, you could look, where is it coming from? So personally, I wouldn't recommend buying from Amazon. Like,
It's by
go
from
get
Centre
it.
de Solution Santé.
Yeah, I know a girl.
Yeah,
Look her
I have
up.
this good friend. She sells some on the side.
She's legit.
Yeah,
legit. She's
Thank
the
you
real
for the
deal.
shameless plug. Shameless plug. But yes, there are definitely different brands. I love to compare this to a car. I think like every naturopath or every practitioner is going to always use the car analogy, but I tell people, if you're driving a Ferrari, are you going to put performance tires or Walmart tires on your car? Technically, they'll probably both fit. They'll both roll. They'll both get you down the street, but one's going to be more performant than the other.
Absolutely.
So oftentimes it's really a question like anything else of like the quality.
And also for like studies, there's been studies done on certain, those brands are the ones that are backed by science, have studies to
They have
show for it.
monographs
Yeah.
that show their efficacy.
I love that. Okay, so now a big other question here. How do we support digestion? Gut health is like a big new topic. Everyone's talking about it. So is there anything that we can do, little things that we can start with to support digestion and metabolism naturally?
Don't vacuum your food.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was
With
gonna
your
say,
mouth.
don't stand up.
Chew your food.
Love
That's
that.
like, I mean, you got to start there, obviously. Chew your food. I tell people, like, chew your food like a 90-year-old with broken dentures. Really chew that food. Eat slowly.
What does it do to eat slowly?
To eat slowly. Oh, man. Okay, so there's
Tell
even
us.
research on this, on like chewing 10 bites versus 40 bites, how you'll actually eat a lot less just because your brain has time to register that, like, okay,
full.
I'm full now. But, your nervous system is really in rest or digest or fight or flight. You cannot be in both places. So if you're stressed all day, you're screaming at your kid that's not sitting down because he's dancing, when you told him 6 times to go eat their plate, you're not going to have an easy time digesting.
So smart.
So again, starting with those basics. And then obviously once we got all that ground covered, that's when we start to see, okay, is there something else that needs tackling here? Let's look under the hood. This has been a persistent issue despite, checking off all of these
The
basic
stuff,
things.
yeah.
Now we might need to start integrating, let's say, a digestive enzyme if we have to sort of look at how do we get the stomach acid to maybe produce more HCl, like digestive enzymes can actually be super helpful for something like that. Someone who's been living in chronic stress forever, that their stomach's just like paralyzed now.
Also, I think it starts just going back to like momhood. When you're pregnant, you could do so many things, what you eat to give to your baby for a better digestion.
Okay, so to start with before even being
Yeah,
being born, but whatever in the stomach.
like natural probiotics, right? What are you eating? Are you eating some kefir? Are you eating some sauerkraut? Like, what are you doing? Because that starts like at conception,
Right?
really. So I think that's important for our kids, and then even them in their diet. Is it a diversified diet?
Are they eating the same
the
foods
healthy
all the time because
bacteria?
they're picky? Yeah.
Exactly.
Technically supposed to be eating 30 different plant foods per week.
Wow.
Yeah, and like not
It's
many people are
intimidating.
hitting that mark. And then like
No.
just to answer your question, but more of an advanced route would be, there are so many good tests now on the market that you don't even need to, you can order online yourself. So we're not affiliated with anything. It's literally, you can just order third-party test, a third-party company, get a stool kit, collect the stool yourself.
Okay, so it's a
at
stool kit.
home.
That's the way to do it.
You send it, and guess what? They're testing for 29 different types of parasites.
Wow.
Conventional medicine typically does not test for such an elaborate panel, right? And it's not just parasites. They're looking for yeast and bacteria and fungus, and you get answers. You get answers because people are dishing out tons of money on different protocols and things like that we know, you're probably going to be, somewhat successful if you do this. But now, once you actually use functional testing to uncover things, it's not necessarily diagnostic. It just helps to sort of push you in a certain direction with your choices moving forward.
And then with the test results, plus working with obviously a naturopath, a
Yeah,
professional,
and we collaborate
both
also
together
with a medical team too.
Right.
And so they sort of oversee everything so that there is no diagnosing or anything that comes from our end. It's just typically a collaborative effort of trying to get this person better.
That's a great place to start. And what about kids? Like, would kids too benefit from these type of tests, or just adults?
No, of course we
My
do it on
kids
kids.
are so used to being poked and
I
pried.
can't
Oh, mom's
imagine.
cutting my hair in the kitchen.
I was gonna say
again.
I already
Okay.
cut my kid's hair because of Jen.
Yeah, exactly. A HTMA test. You ship that off to the lab. They burn the hair. They check for different metals and minerals. And
It's a funny story, but sorry to cut
yeah,
you
yeah,
off.
it's
But
okay.
my daughter's
Mold
teacher
urine.
like messaged me and she goes, "Is this why is your daughter chopped off her hair? Like,
Oh
did
my
something happen?" And she cut her hair. I'm like, no, it was all me.
Oh my god.
arts and crafts,
Yeah.
It's a regular Saturday.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's
Christina.
like in the US, it's the norm. It's
Really?
the norm. Like
Okay.
it's so much more accessible, I
Right.
think. So it's great that Jen is collaborating with Rhea to bring the vibrant.
Yes, what a
labs
refresh.
there.
I like that.
So very insightful. I mean, personally, in my experience with my son, he had really bad eczema.
Okay.
So doing that test actually opened up my eyes for so many things I would have never known.
Of course. And did it
Never
heal?
known. Yeah, it took a year,
Wow.
18 months of work
That's
and
beautiful.
protocols and vitamins and supplements and doing some things with food.
Yeah.
And even like allergy tests, just even,
Yes.
and that was with his pediatrician,
Yes.
So just advocating for yourself in the room too and knowing what to say.
And speaking of
Speaking up where the tests are warranted
right.
is huge because like the other pediatrician kind of just disregarded us. So I think, like Jen said, working also with a good doctor that's going to hear you out is, for me as a mom, is crucial.
I think what's so great now is people have so much power.
Yeah.
They can order their
They
own
do,
stuff. Like,
yes.
so in our case, we had where I had to do mold tests on both my kids because we had lived actually close to here. And my eldest had some upper respiratory stuff where he would catch a cough and it would just linger. And I was like, this is definitely above what the norm is typically.
Yes.
And I would see the difference with my other son. But where we were living prior, we had a tenant upstairs and the bathroom had leaked. And so Vince's room was the closest to that bathroom. So I sort of suspected, put my mom cap, my naturopath cap on, and did mold testing. And sure enough, his came out higher.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was just like, it's awesome to be able to have sort of these, different functional labs that'll actually show you the different types of mold too that your kid is
so you know how to
allergic or
handle it.
is reacting to, or that they have had in their body or colonized.
Right.
And so then you know how to work it.
Yeah. Well, speaking from my personal experience and what I introduced it with is that Capri had a cashew allergy. Capri's my middle daughter. And instead of like freaking out, which I did freak out, but I'm saying like, I contacted Jen right away and through, the things that we did and the tests that we did, because we cut her hair.
Yeah. Traumatized her. Yes, we did.
She's fine now. But the doctors could not believe that this girl was severely allergic to cashews. And 1 year later, she had no allergy. Like, that's crazy for me. And like it changed everything because I used to have to carry around EpiPens. I was always a little nervous. Deep down, my gut instinct was like, this girl doesn't have an allergy. There's just something that's unbalanced.
Was the best part of you, that you, when you came in, you were like, okay, what could we do?
Yeah. Like I just knew we could fix this. Like I
just
knew
very willing to be open-minded. And
so I definitely could attest to that. Everything they're saying, it works. I mean, I know sometimes it doesn't. There's maybe a different issue, but it really worked well. So thank you.
We work hard at troubleshooting for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, we've seen it quite a lot. Like kids under 5, like they'll come in, they're allergic to raspberries. We work together, and then within a year, they're no longer allergic to raspberries.
And we're not curing, right? We're not saying that we're curing anything, but again, it's what naturopathy does best. Put your body back in a state of balance.
As women, we're constantly moving for our families, our work, our children. But so often we forget to move for ourselves. That's why I created vbodlife.com, because movement isn't about perfection or pressure. It's about remembering who you are when you take that time to move your body. vbodlife.com is my online training studio with over 200 workouts, all designed for women who want to work out from anywhere in no time with as little as 10 to 30 minutes. Whether you're postnatal, balancing work and family, or simply craving more energy, these workouts were made for you. Each video follows my VBOD method, a fusion of strength training and kickboxing that sculpts your body, boosts your mood, and fits in your real life. Join me at vbodlife.com today and start your 7-day free trial. You'll rediscover your rhythm, your confidence, and your energy, because movement is the spark that brings us back to life. Absolutely. I love that. Okay, so oh my God, this is a good question. What would moms, what would mom's starter oh my God, I can't say this word, naturopathic kit look like? So what would you have, basic, right now, someone doesn't have any supplements or anything, what would they have in their cupboards?
I'm not the person to answer this.
Are we asking Christina?
There's no room for glasses at my house.
4,000
I have a pharmacy at my house.
I'm sure.
I mean, so do I, but yeah, if I have to pick top, like if I was on a deserted island and you have only 3 things to bring with you, elderberry syrup,
yes,
for sure, is in there. You mean like cough and cold, right?
Yeah, I mean just basic stuff, which I think I agree with you.
Liposomal C, because that could be vitamin C does not get enough
love
spotlight. It's just like everybody just knows it as immunity. It's so much more than that. So vitamin C for sure. Liposomal. Oh my God, what would be my third one? That's a hard one.
It's hard, I know.
I guess NAC.
NAC, okay.
I guess NAC. So those would be top.
There's
3.
a really good kids one that has some NAC in there too. It's a DHIS Junior that I use, not just for like
I use that on
histamine, but just for immune system.
Yeah.
Okay, so for someone that doesn't know, what does NAC do?
NAC, N-acetylcysteine. So N-acetylcysteine is just basically going to help break down like viral particles and things like that.
Okay, so
again,
if someone's
we can't
sick,
really, say these things, or
you're not recommending to take it.
No, it's not medical advice. Okay, let me just like cover my tush here. Not medical advice, but NAC is awesome for your immune system. It's food for your liver.
Okay.
So yeah, it's
when there was the fires in Quebec, everybody was taking a lot of NAC. Okay, so even for like smoke buildup,
helps your liver detoxify.
Exactly. So detoxification. It's much more important in life, the way your body detoxifies, than what you're ingesting. Even more. I would put more weight on that quality. Yeah, amazing for egg, amazing for sperm. Yeah, so there's a list of things.
List.
And kids could
always
take NAC
consult
too?
your healthcare practitioner
before starting anything new.
This is not medical advice.
Footnote.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, amazing. And now, what are the top 3 remedies that every family should have at home? That was what you just...
Yeah, so sorry. So I answered
That's okay.
that one.
All good. All good. So when is it time to see a doctor and go beyond a naturopath?
I mean, look, if you break an arm, if you need a surgery, like anything surgical,
that's not us.
You need to go see a doctor. But again, anything that changing your med, talk to your pharmacist, you break your head, go see a doctor, like
but also like I think if things are like persisting, or they're outside of what the norm is in terms of like pain tolerance or things like that, you have this awesome thing called the mom gut, and you need to listen to that. So, obviously naturopathy would really be our first approach. See, what could we do to sort of calm the situation first, but it's so important to still see a doctor when it's needed. And when it's needed, I would say, is if things are really, progressing despite your best effort or prolonging despite your best effort.
Yeah, or the fever doesn't go away, or maybe
emergency
like a sign that
situations.
there's something
And
up.
anything deeper, like scans, you need a doctor for that, right? Referrals, prescriptions, you need a doctor
Right,
for
and
that.
I think if people would use more like of this alternative medicine, is that the correct word to call what you guys doing? Perfect. So if they would use that, it would actually declutter the hospitals more.
100%.
And it would make things
that's
so much
what
better.
led me to this, like those 14-hour waits, and now with the new bill too, like it's the children and the elderly that are going to feel that first.
Of course.
So you need to, like, it pisses me off a bit when you see someone in the emergency room with like a cough and cold. Like,
Yeah,
come on.
it's like we could figure this out.
Yes.
By the way, if you ever need any incentive to stay healthy, just spend 5 minutes in a waiting room. of a
Right,
hospital
that's so
somewhere.
true.
It's insane. Like I had to go for an ultrasound, was it like last week? And you're walking in there and it's young people in wheelchairs, and it's young people, and it's like,
So depressing.
Yeah.
it really helps you realize to act before you start to, feel the problems and the greater effects of the problems.
Or like invest in your health now.
Yeah,
because
so later on.
It's
It's the saddest thing when we see like older people that are not mobile anymore, or that they're just not themselves, and it's like at 67 years old there's still so many more years to live, with good qualities. So
My grandfather is still rolling gnocchi, probably live as we speak in his kitchen, and he'll be 97
God
in January.
bless. Wow, that's amazing. All right, so with that being said, let me ask the next question. So many women listening want to feel better, but they don't know where to start. So what are some simple, affordable habits that make the biggest impact right away?
Change your makeup.
Oh,
Yeah. Like get rid of the toxic stuff in your environment. Air
Didn't expect you to
fresheners,
say that.
scented candles.
I was going to say that.
You know,
those Bath and Body
your
Works.
yeah.
and they
Listen,
smell terrible.
I was a Yankee Candy girly
Were you?
back in the day.
Wow.
Okay, I lived alone for 3 years, so I had the ability of like getting, toxic things
Without
in
your
my house. This
dad.
was without my exactly. Moved out, I think I was 19. So
young,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. So
Independent.
So, anyways, I went through that whole toxic era where
Yeah.
I wanted my house to smell like a big giant flower.
Yeah.
But man, boy, does that ruin you in the long run, especially that it's not even a secret anymore. These are known carcinogens. And this again is an area that a lot of people are overlooking now that we're like in the Sephora era. But I don't even know how people work in stores like that.
I know.
Or like 8-year-olds are going to Sephora for anti-aging cream. Like it's
Come
But
on.
driving
also
me
8-year-olds are
nuts.
getting their period these days. Like,
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
true.
Oh,
really
period. Perfect segue. Period care. Okay, that's biggest
Yes.
impact right away. That's
Yeah,
going
tampons.
inside your vagina.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
It's what you put in there matters, right? Okay.
Guys, I
That's
spent
huge.
the summer in Europe, and we ran out of wipes that I brought with me, and so I had to go to pharmacy to pick up wipes. And Franco, of course, you send a man; he doesn't always come back with the exact specs, but he's pretty good. He looks, but
Yeah.
he couldn't find anything that was fragrance free. So like
In
you're
Europe?
wiping a 1-year-old
Yeah.
with stuff that has chemicals in it, right? Just so that they smell fresh. And it's like, whoa, we are setting up their endocrine system for problems later on with all of these things that your great grandparents would never recognize as being part of the ingredient list.
Another simple one, like plastic water bottles. Just replace with stainless
Stainless.
steel. Like again, $10 things that make a huge, like you said, impact right away. Your cookware, like you just need one pan, really.
Yeah,
or
that's
two.
true.
You don't need.
We always
you
use
need
the
to
same
spend
one anyway.
$1,000s or millions of dollars. Just that.
What kind
ceramic.
of cookware? Ceramic?
Yeah, you could do ceramic is the best, like ceramic, stainless steel, and then glass Tupperware. At Costco, they have so
Yes.
many sales. Just buy the sets and you're done.
That's an easy place to start.
Unbleached
super easy.
parchment.
Oh, that's another
like
one.
Like $1.50, so that's
Right.
easy.
Yeah. But even like it goes before us, right? So like my kids, what are they playing with? I used to have inflatable couches in my room when I was a kid. And
We
my
all
whole
did, I
room
think.
smelled of plastic,
Plastic.
and it's like, this is a nostalgic scent of my childhood. But now it's like, okay, well, we know better. I'm sure the plastics today are made even way worse than they were in our day.
That's true.
But like, I wouldn't give my kids, let's say, the what are those plastic toys for the bath that are full of
Yeah,
mold
mold.
inside?
Yes, the
So, like,
ducks,
little
the rubber
things.
ducks.
Yeah, anything that could like with the
Yeah.
It's
hole
just simple education that sometimes people don't even know. They're not even aware of.
and actually I'm re-going through that because I mean
Yes, you
now
have a
it's
baby
4
now,
month old,
right?
and I haven't done that in 5
Yeah.
years. So like all those things, the wooden toys, so easy.
Love
I
it, love
he's
every
putting everything in the
Wow.
month now, teething. So like wood, easy, such an easy swap. So his Christmas list is full of
So cute.
wooden toys.
I just find like for myself anyway, from my first daughter to my son, my last, like, oh my God, like
So much change.
the things that she
Yeah,
was
the
playing
similar
with or
gaps, yeah.
using, like,
Yeah.
and you kind of feel guilty a little bit because you're like, did I mess up the first
Screwed
one?
up
But
on the first. Yeah.
All
we
we
did the
could do is
best we
move
could,
forward.
right?
Yeah.
With our situation. So, okay. Why is hydration and water quality so important for health? We've been speaking about that a lot.
I think we did speak about it already. Yeah,
You
we kind
did.
of covered the whole not wanting to drink somebody else's pharmaceutical.
Okay,
regimen.
and then the
So- and
air
we just-
quality.
Yeah, well, air quality. Well, like we were saying, and it happens all the time.
Right.
Europe here, there's fires. It's also fragrance. To me, is like the new secondhand smoke.
It is.
There's people wearing perfume all around you. Again, I'm with a little baby too. Whoever's holding your baby,
Isn't
like,
that worse when the baby smells like the fragrance
oh
of
my
the person? I
gosh,
say,
it's my
"It
pet
hurts,
peeve.
I
I guess
know."
we're taking 2 baths today.
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
So those are like things that are important because you constantly need that air ventilation, and especially our winters in Quebec, you're inside
A lot.
all
All
the
the
time. So that's a huge one. The water one, just like I just moved in a new house, so
Did
that
you
was
get the
like
whole
my-
house?
Yes, I got the
Okay,
whole
good
house.
for you.
So that's great because like right there, you're eliminating so much. And again, with a kid having eczema,
Yeah,
what
The
are you
baths,
bathing
the
in?
showers.
that really
yeah.
helped for my
There's
kids
the
too.
vapors from the showers too that people
Really?
don't realize are actually not great, right? So when you have, and if for people listening that don't have the budget necessarily to invest in a whole home filtration system, it took me forever to say that whole.
It's
whole
okay, we got
home.
you.
It's a mouthful. But you can get just the ones on Amazon that clip to the shower head.
Yes, or the
mind
bath,
you.
the little,
Yes.
the
Yeah,
little bag there.
exactly.
With the whale
I
on
think
it.
it's Santevia is the
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
for the bath.
Yeah.
It's like with the dolphin. Mind you, your kids, when they get old enough, they're going to want to pull that out.
Yes.
But those
a
are
good
little
place to
steps
start.
that really help. And you see a great difference with the skin just doing something like that for sure.
I noticed that with my daughter, also Capri, because she has sensitive skin. And as soon as we changed the water to purified water that we're bathing with, her dry skin completely went away.
And I mean, you could the air doctor for me. Well, one, Jen got it for me for a Christmas gift, so
What
that
a
was very
nice
kind of
gift.
her. For my second floor, but my first one, I waited for Black Friday.
Yes, there was
And
a
I
good
got it then.
promotions.
And then same thing with the AquaTrue. They now sell it, I think, Amazon, Home Depot. Just wait for Black Friday.
Yeah, it's a good chance, a good opportunity.
Yeah, honestly, even for the air quality, like at home, we have a HVAC system.
Yes.
We change the filters all the time, and you would not believe what my air doctor can still pick up.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And we don't have animals at home. We don't have
No,
pets
neither.
apart from
Right.
my kids. We don't have animals.
It's funny, but since you started like really talking about it more on social media, inspired me to buy extra air quality. What are they called?
Air purifier.
Air purifier. Thank you. And like my husband's like, "Are you nuts? Like we have
Oh,
we
mine
have one in
embraces
the
it.
house."
He's like, they're on sale, buy more. I'm
Yeah,
like, we don't really
that's
need
nice.
more. He's like, yeah.
So we started with one in the main
Yeah,
floor, and
that's
now
it.
everyone has one in their room. And he's like, "Are you gonna stop? Like where else do you want to put one?"
But I like Air Doctor because there's many different tiers of price
footage.
tags and square footage and also how powerful they are down to what microparticle are they filtering. And I find Air Doctor is just the most well-rounded one
Okay.
because I personally prefer to have the smaller middle range ones that really perform still well on every floor
Okay,
as opposed to one massive one for my
Right.
whole house.
right. So I actually bought the Jasper. Is that good?
So Jasper, I mean, if you look at it,
It was more
all the
because it looked nice. I'm
specs,
not gonna lie.
Yeah, it is aesthetically.
It's really
pleasing for
that.
sure. But if you look at the specs, it's definitely performant. It's up there. It's up there. However, what stays in the back of my mind is I had a client that was remediating the basement of her home, and she had clearly there was like mold and stuff like that. And she said she had posted it on social as well. But she said that her Jasper was just chilling, and the Air Doctor was going nuts. Like, yeah, and you could see that with the sensors.
Wow.
So it was just like, hey,
Which one's
is it
working?
not
Yeah, the Air
picking up?
Doctor, when I'm like frying bacon, it's going crazy.
Oh my
And I have
gosh.
my fan on top
Air
of my
Doctor,
gas range.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. Even a
It's
little.
crazy the bacon, how it's the worst
Oh
one,
my
right?
gosh.
I know.
But even like we had an event and a hairdresser had to come, so they sprayed a bit of hairspray, which I don't normally have in my
Right.
house. It went crazy just by like a little bit. She
Yeah,
sprayed.
like I can vouch for the Air Doctor because I have so many of them and I've seen them perform. So I
Yes.
can't really vouch for the Jasper,
I
but
understand.
I've never
but
used it.
obviously, yeah, if you're looking at the specs, like it is up there for sure, the higher end.
And
I
for a
just-
middle budget, Lavoit is decent.
That's what I
It's
use
lower
in the
budget, yeah.
smaller rooms.
Yes, yeah.
Figuring
Yeah,
that it could do
it's,
something.
That's an
decent.
Amazon brand, but yeah.
Yeah. And I think I got them on sale. They were quite inexpensive. So, yeah. Okay, so those were all really great tips, girls. But now I have to talk about something very important. So now you're both doing something incredible. So creating a school for naturopathy, which is epic, by the way. When I saw you guys doing that, I was like so impressed. So tell us about that. What inspired you to teach others, and what makes your approach different than other schools?
So,
Can you take
so
this
okay,
one?
so I'll
And
take
then
it
I'll add.
because I feel like you probably don't realize what I'm gonna say, but Christina approached me with this idea
Okay.
in 2023. This was
Oh.
her idea,
Okay.
and you know, at that time I was like, "You've been working with us for like 8 months. You need to chill. A
Just
little bit."
relax a
Like,
bit,
yeah,
Christina.
like, she's so ambitious and driven.
I
which
love
is
that.
Amazing. I see so much of myself in her, but it was also like very forward and very aggressive. And I was like,
We're doing this.
hey, I'm just opening the second location
Yeah.
with my husband
I
who
can't
also
breathe.
left his career
Yeah.
to
She's
come work with
pregnant.
me. I'm also pregnant. Maybe this is not the right idea.
Yeah.
So like, you know,
Let's
don't wanna
reevaluate.
shut your dreams down,
Yeah.
but like, I'm not your girl for this,
Yeah.
at least not now. So that we put that idea to rest. And then it was sort of was last year
I'm
that
Greek.
I was
don't
like,
take
listen,
no
I
for an
think it's
answer.
time. Yeah, exactly.
Love
No,
it.
so anyways, the idea came about, and I said, you know what? I am tired of having to, you know, the amount of time that I spend with my team, like mentoring, and you see when they come out of school, like they have a good knowledge base, but because they don't have that practical experience working one-on-one, like I can really help fast track that for them to be able to then help their clients in a much better way than the way they would have if they were starting on their own, doing their own research, making their own mistakes. I've made the mistakes.
Yeah.
Learn
Let
from
me learn from I
you
like
know?
that.
So yeah, I think it was just a really good natural partnership eventually. I didn't feel coerced to do it. Okay, when
You
the
were pushed in the
idea came
corner.
about a little bit more naturally the next year, and I said we can do it better than, you know, the other things that are out there. So we just decided, hey, let's upgrade what's currently being offered with a curriculum that makes more sense, that's more up to speed with today's, you know, stuff. And then we made it very, very functional. So now it's on an app. We have
Wow.
videos. We
I
have
wanna sign up.
yeah, we have bi-weekly office hours. So obviously it's a full-on trade, right?
Right.
So it's you want to take over?
A lot of people, like when
yapping here.
I was so surprised, like when we first put out our info, you know, just sign up to get info, that was
Yeah.
it. And people in the box had to write like their why. And it was so nice to see moms and students and teachers and people that, or actually healthcare workers.
Wow.
And
That's
it was
surprising.
so nice to see their why was just, I want to deepen my knowledge for my family.
Yeah. It's
Some
like,
not even to practice
yes,
naturopathy.
Yes.
So I love that there was a mix of both. So it was just such a breath of fresh air to see that and to read those whys and their reason. And like every single person was super passionate. And Jen could tell you, I'm super passionate about what I do.
It's a prerequisite to work at
Centre de
CDSS.
Solution.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like the energy, it's like you guys have such a amazing energy, and I feel like you're just welcoming that with the people that are going to sign up.
That's it. And so
Gonna
we
mind,
wanted
yeah.
to like portray that onto the school. And like Jen said, one point she touched upon, I just find some of the info that was out there in a lot of the schools is like a bit ancient.
Let's see a little
Stale.
dinosaur.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, and not like up to date. So I love like our approach. And we made it like fun learning. Like you were
Yes.
saying, like Huberman podcast, you could just like listen to that on Spotify. Okay, you can't listen to ours on Spotify, but
Maybe
it's
one
up
day.
there.
Yeah.
It's up there, and I love like the functionality and the interactive learning. You're gonna definitely see a lot of Jen on there.
She let me control freak the school. Okay?
Okay.
And I was like, can I take the reins on the teaching and the
Yes.
curriculum and stuff? And so I was really fortunate that she gave me the green light for that, which is great. But she's been awesome at like all the behind the scenes and like, hey Chris, like can you reach out to these institutions so we can get approved in the States?
I saw that.
God.
Congrats, ladies.
And like she's a boss. She's like, Jen, I need this document. And then
Yeah.
I didn't, you know, I'm like busy, whatever. Jen,
Get the
reminder, I need
document.
the document. And I'm like, this
I'm
is
on her.
exactly the
Yeah.
person that I needed to partner with
Yes,
because
you guys
she's
make the
just so
perfect
efficient.
team.
She's super
That's
efficient.
great.
And
It's a really
yeah.
good collaboration.
yeah,
That's so nice. So what is your vision for the school? Like
we
down the
want to
line?
just basically teach the next generation of naturopaths so that, you know, I was capped with how many people I can help on a daily basis in my office. And as you know, like a month and a bit ago, like I had to take a step back from that to be able to focus on these other projects.
Yeah.
But the bigger vision is I was able to see 8 to 10 people a day in my office. If I teach 30 people or obviously more, how to then they can teach 8 to 10 people in their office. What a ripple effect.
That's the goal.
What a ripple effect. And you can help so many more people. So you just have to sort of let go of that, you know.
And that key word of like, again, bringing it back to moms and things that we could relate, just like empowering you to not feel blind, to not feel lost when you walk into the doctor's office.
Yeah, or if your kid gets sick, not freak out and panic, but like know the tools and what to do.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, we were talking about AI and things that people will lean on now, like Google and this, that, and how Christina was saying how it can backfire.
Oh, yeah.
It can backfire, you know. So we really want to give people the tools so that they don't necessarily feel like they have to rely on that.
Yeah, and to be properly guided. Because, I mean, and that too, like the abundance of information, but it's not like properly done. Like a famous influencer is just talking and you're kind of like eating what she's saying, but hey, like let's check what she's saying. What's her background? Where's her like credentials? So we wanted to do it like proper,
the right way.
We also know that we're not the end all be all of all the information, and so I have been so lucky in my career to have connected with great people who are now becoming our experts, guest speakers. So we have people teaching, you know, like a pharmacist will teach drug nutrient interaction. I have one of the reps of the supplement companies that we work with that's been a rep for like 20 plus years that's going to help teach that, you know, a portion of that module. So anyways, we really did a nice collaborative effort with other experts in the field as well. I have a scientist that's going to teach us about how to read
research papers.
That's so cool.
I know. And what's awesome is a lot of them approached me. So it was just really kind, very, very kind to see people out there that also want to help the next generation and have that same mission of like, hey, if more people got this information and we made it more accessible, we can help more people.
I think people feel like your intentions, and obviously you guys know what you're talking about, and I think they want to be part of that just to help the future. So that's beautiful. And like for aspiring practitioners or anyone else seeking deeper wellness knowledge, is that who this is for? Or like you said, could it be for a regular person just, you know, that wants to?
I mean, for sure, it's
a little intense.
It's a little intense for sure for like, let's say a day-to-day person. But for sure, if you want to just, I mean, we have it's incredible. Like we have students from the US, which they know when they graduate that accreditation won't mean anything in the States, like for them.
So it won't?
The naturopathy.
Okay. They can't be a naturopathic doctor in the States
at all.
But they can be a functional health and wellness practitioner.
So that was nice because
the dual accreditation.
It's all about the wording.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically.
Yeah. So, but it's nice that they just, before we got accredited in the US, they had signed up.
Wow.
So it was so nice to see that.
The trust, is not something that we take lightly for sure.
And they're super excited, actually, the US students. So.
That's so cool. And how will the curriculum balance the ancient wisdom and the modern science? How do you guys do this?
I'm getting through some of the those ancient science ones right now. So it's like, okay, what I ended up doing is the anatomy physiology module is very dry, right? Because it's like, okay, you got to teach the basics. We have to just get through this. Let's grind through this to get to the future modules, which are really going to be awesome. But I always tag in like clinical examples towards the end. Like this is where you would see this anatomy physiology play out in real life in practice. So that we just like, okay, you were sleeping, I'll wake you up.
Let's make it interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Like as someone that like I don't know if a lot of people know this, but I have a bachelor's in cell and molecular biology.
No, I did not. Good for you. Congrats.
So I came from science. So having come from there, like what you learn in school by textbook, like I love that. Like when going through everything, like she made it fun. For sure there's some drier physiology anatomy parts, but like you need to know how the body works in order to do naturopathy. So I think like that's the base, and like we were saying, the pillars. So I think it's definitely the way of the future, and like a lot of people are turning to naturopathy.
Yeah, so the course for sure is more for the aspiring practitioners. It has a price tag on it that also justifies that it's for someone who is looking to actually build a career from this. However, like she said, we definitely still have people that are so invested, and I think they've also realized, you know, the amount of time and energy and money and everything they've spent in this field, being on that receiving end, they would love to actually learn it for themselves. They're there now. They've gotten to that point.
Right. And how do you see this shaping the future of healthcare for women in Quebec and beyond?
I like to think that you know, we did make some ripples this year with the collaboration into some medical establishments. You know, now I have a third location and a fourth location within medical clinics where we teamed up with medical doctors.
Right.
And that's like the first of its kind here.
Never even heard of that.
No, it's the norm in Ontario. It's the norm in BC.
Okay.
Yeah, naturopathic doctors, they were, you know, they work hand in hand with conventional, but this province is not so much that way, but we're sort of trying to
make a change.
You know,
definitely have made a big difference.
Working on it.
Have a voice. And I mean, the number one, like, biggest compliment, like, that I was so stunned, you know, clients come in and they're like, my dermatologist recommended you. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm just like a little Christina in Montreal. Like, I'm not Jen, you know?
Oh, stop.
And it was so cute.
You're both
like,
so amazing.
Like a fertility doctor recommended you.
Wow.
And so, like, those are
moments,
beautiful, like, things that you're like, you know what? Okay, I'm making a change. So these are the values that we want to portray to the school. So that's kind of our future, our vision.
I think that a lot of doctors don't know what we do.
Yeah, they don't understand. They don't want to understand.
They don't get it.
Yeah,
They're just like,
that's true.
You want to take, you know, crystal ball or whatever.
Yeah,
there are some naturopaths that are tarnishing our reputation. I will say they're not so science based. You got to be careful.
It's good and bad in every.
But I mean, I think once they understand that we are just trying to do a lot of the legwork so that they could avoid the wait times, that would really,
absolutely. Okay, so you've shared so much today, but before we end, there's one thing that you wish every woman would know about her own body and natural healing. Is there something you could chime in on that topic?
Intuition.
I knew you were going to say that.
Your body's talking to you. Like we said, you know, your body's talking to you. You've got to get familiar with the language.
Yeah.
It might feel foreign at first, but once you start unpacking it, you can realize that, you know, you can always make a comeback with your health. Always.
And listening to your body, like in the sense of if you feel something is really wrong in your gut, you know, like you knew for Capri, like you said. I think that I see that so much in so many client stories. Like when something's just not going right.
And it'll show up in different ways, right? Like an allergy, like eczema.
Yes.
Those are little, well, that's for your children,
So
but for yourself too, it could pop up in those ways.
Trusting yourself, trusting your gut, and kind of sometimes also, again, we're so like meticulous sometimes. We want to do this and this and this and 400 supplements. Sometimes also just going with the flow, like for, no pun intended, but like for period, you know, we teach women how to like track their cycles naturally,
instead of taking birth control.
And so sometimes like, yes, or a ring is great and like it tracks your basal body temp, but sometimes knowing your cues, knowing your like cervical fluid and knowing when you're ovulating, those are things that, especially that I work in fertility, like a lot of times when like the person lets go, it happens.
Yeah. So stop looking at all the numbers kind of thing.
Yes, sometimes we're getting like it's a fine balance.
Of course.
The numbers help.
Of course.
Like Jen said, and the tests help 100% when you're stuck.
Yeah.
But before it comes to that point, sometimes just like letting go, trusting your intuition.
I think it's important to know yourself too.
Yes.
Like I know the way I am, like I kind of panic sometimes, especially with my kids. I kind of freak out when there's something wrong, but it's just like staying calm and just like you said, listen.
It's harder said than done.
I know, but you learn, right? With time.
Easier said than done.
So if someone's that's listening right now is feeling overwhelmed, like about where to start, what's the first little small step that you could recommend?
Follow us on Instagram.
I like that.
Right?
Contact.
We share a lot of free information and you know, we do it on purpose to just try to, you know, whatever way that we can help. I wish I had more time to dedicate to that, but in whatever way that we can help, we love to share free information there.
Okay, good. Well, today's conversation reminded me that nature and all of this is really our biggest ally. So we just have to remember how to listen to her again, right? Listen to nature. Yeah. And now I like to end every podcast with a quote. I think it's really fun to do it. So I'm going to read this one out to you guys if you allow me. So the art of healing comes from nature, not from physician. Therefore, the physician must start from nature with an open mind.
I love that.
I love
that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I like that too. So thank you both so much for being here today and for opening the eyes of so many women and others probably. But thank you for being here. You guys are both so amazing and have created such a ripple effect, not only in our small community of Montreal, but I believe worldwide. So thank you for all the work that you do. I appreciate you. Like I said, I worked with both of you, and today was super fun. So thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
If you've made it to the end of this episode, this one's for you. Thank you for listening, for showing up, and for being part of this community. As a small gift, use code MTM22 at checkout on vbodlife.com for 22% off your membership. This is my way of saying thank you for choosing more than movement.